as we watched Iran invade Israel, many questions came up. Is this the beginning of World War III? Is this prophetic? Well, before we get into this, I do want to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, for not just supporting our channel, but being the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. By building orphanages all over this world, having battered women's shelters, food pantries, serving hot meals, they are literally being the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. So check out their link below. Check out their Giving Hope Fund, which you can find through the link. I'm going to recommend, if you're going to buy a car and they have a ministry near and dear to your heart, that you buy a car from them, because then that money goes back into the ministry, not just all of it into some dealer owner pocket. So that link is below. So here we go. Iran has invaded Israel, and everybody kind of knew it was coming. It was really strange. They knew there was a retaliation based off of what Israel had done, bombing the embassy in Syria. And now what we're looking at is we knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I know nothing about intelligence of what's going on over there, but I knew it was coming because there was all sorts of articles saying it was coming. Everybody seemed to know that this attack was inevitable. Now, what I will say about it is, number one, it's foolish. If you are going up against Israel, you're going down. You're going down. This is not a good idea. I wouldn't want America to go up against Israel, simply because they're God's people. You're going to go down. Those who curse Israel are going to be cursed. Those who bless Israel are going to be blessed. It's very straightforward. It's not a confusing thing. The only time anything bad ever happens to Israel is if God is then punishing Israel for some reason. But right now, as we're entering into the end times, he is not doing that. Anybody who's going up against Israel is going to go down. So is this prophetic? Well, let's say that I'm going to start with no, it's not prophetic. The only prophetic invasions of Israel that we could really kind of say, well, here's how it's going to play out, is the Gog-Magog War. But I do not believe that's going to happen until after the millennium reign of Jesus Christ. But it does resemble it. Ultimately what you have is you have places like Russia, Iran, Libya, places like this invading Israel. A very prophetic war. But again, in Revelation, it clearly spells it out that it is after the 1,000-year reign of Jesus Christ, when Satan is released. Then the Gog-Magog War. So I don't believe that this is the Gog-Magog War in any way, shape, or form. Again, because I don't believe the timing is right. The only other prophetic war that we can really talk about how it plays out is when all the armies of the world meet at the hill of Megiddo in Armageddon, and then they come down to Israel to conquer Jesus himself when he sets his feet on the Mount of Olives. So that's not what either one of these things are. It is prophetic in its sense because Satan and a third of the angels have sought to devour Israel from the very beginning, and continue to seek to devour Israel until Christ returns, because they know that it is where Christ is returning. So, I don't believe this is either one of those things. Clearly, it's not one of those things. If there is any prophecy involved, it's just that Satan is trying to devour Israel. The same now as he was yesterday and will be tomorrow. And outside that, the only prophetic piece that I would say this would be when Jesus said, there will be wars and rumors of wars. And here what we're dealing with is we're dealing with wars. And we're also dealing with rumors of wars. So no, I do not believe this is a prophetic war outside of there's nothing new happening here. People have always wanted to kill Israel because Satan wants to devour Israel. It's plain and clear to anybody who has eyeballs and is aware of the spiritual warfare playing out in the world, sees that this is just part of that. And always has been and always will. It's Israel. It's the nature of Israel in the spiritual war, so to say. And there are wars and rumors of wars. Now, outside of that, a lot of people are suggesting this is the beginning of World War III. That I can't speak to, other than what we see is now we have Iran clearly involved with Israel, so now they have a two-front war taking place. We have other countries threatening to get involved in it. We got Syria, we got Lebanon, and Yemen all threatening to get involved. And so they're going to have this multi-front war. America and England are involved because we helped shoot down those missiles. Now we're just shooting down missiles. So we've been, kind of like very similarly to giving arms to Ukraine. We're involved, but we're not involved. But we're involved. Let's just put it where it is. So we are involved, and then we also have our hands in Ukraine. And so you have Russia and Ukraine going on. You have Israel with at least two fronts, but probably going to be more like 4 or 5 fronts. You have China kind of eager to get into Taiwan. And you have North Korea always threatening to attack somebody. So I guess what I'm saying is it feels a lot like feels like we're falling down a slippery slope that will probably lead to some sort of world war event. If I had to gamble on this, like what do I think's going to happen? I hate to gamble on wartime things, and I certainly won't. But if I was to just kind of gamble on what I think's going to happen, I believe Israel is going to whoop everybody's behind, because that's what the Bible says always happens. Always, you come up against Israel, you're going to get whooped every time. And that's going to play out again in this scenario. So I don't think this is any sort of a long-term thing. I think Israel is going to smoke these countries pretty quick. I hope it doesn't make it to the shores of America. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But that's what I believe is happening. Do I believe that World War III is beginning? Maybe. But I think this is going to be swift. I really do. I think the only way this is going to enter into World War III is if China or Russia suddenly they start taking additional steps as well. Then I can see it being a World War III. Once you see America and Russia and China all engaging in the same battlefields, then we can start talking World War III. But until then, and I mean engaging as in men on the ground, engaging in those battlefields. Until you see that, I'm just going to call for what it is. It is prophetically a war and rumors of war only. And I really don't think this is going to lead to any sort of World War III until we see these major countries actually having troops on the ground, other than Russia and Ukraine. So there you go. Any thoughts or insight on this? I'm just trying to really kind of bring some calm to it, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's prophetic, or oh, it's World War III. I don't believe it's either one of those things. So any thoughts or insight, definitely put it below. I do want to take a moment and say that most people watch this channel, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, and never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.